Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. We begin with the latest on a developing story. The FBI and police across the country are investigating bomb threats at news outlets, government buildings, schools, and more.
That includes several locations here in Fayette County. Lee Searcy has more about the demands and why investigators think it's one giant hoax.
Police and fire responded to multiple threats across Lexington. Luckily, they were just that, threats. There were no evacuations here at AAA, but police and firefighters did respond as a safety measure. This was not the case over at Lexington Catholic High School. The school did receive an emailed threat, and as a precaution, it was evacuated. What happened here in Lexington happened around the country, and we learned a Bowling Green TV station also received an emailed bomb threat. Fortunately, the threats turned out to be a hoax. Police have to take each one like it's the real deal, though.
On our part, we do respond, and we have to treat it as a bomb threat. It's up to the actual premises to decide on whether or not they're going to evacuate their facilities.
And police are also encouraging people and businesses to check their spam folders because some of those threats may have gone to those places. Covering the news in Lexington from the LEX 18 Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
In a unanimous decision, Kentucky's Supreme Court struck down the pension bill about 3 weeks before it was set to kick in.
It's a decision teachers and the Attorney General are celebrating, but the governor is not happy. LEX 18's Carolina Buchek has details in tonight's big story at 6.
After many months, the final battle over Senate Bill 151 came down to this, the Supreme Court. This is where Andy Beshear and Governor Matt Bevin's lawyers argued their case over Senate Bill 151. And today, the justices that sit there announced their decision. They say the bill was passed illegally. To understand the story, let's go back to when thousands of teachers marched to the Capitol. They wanted lawmakers to stop the pension bill. Lawmakers didn't listen. They passed Senate Bill 151, but in an interesting way. The bill started off as a sewer bill, and then in the last moments, all the pension stuff was added on.
You're shutting out the public. You are tricking them. You're turning a sewer bill into a pension bill.
Because of that, the bill was not read 3 separate times on 3 different days, which is required by the Constitution. So that's why the Supreme Court struck it down. And the governor believes that is an overstep of the court's power.
This is a poke in the eye, a kick in the teeth, and a stab in the back to our legislature.
Of course, in the next legislative session, lawmakers could propose a different pension bill, but as far as Senate Bill 151 goes, it is dead. Covering the news at the Capitol from the LEX 18 Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
A grand jury in western Kentucky has indicted a Texas serial killer in a cold case death from 37 years ago. 78-year-old Samuel Little claims he's killed 90 people across the country, including at least one in Kentucky. According to the Bowling Green Daily News, he's been indicted for the 1981 death of Linda Sue Boards, who was raped and strangled. Little's already serving 3 life sentences for strangling 3 women in Los Angeles in the 1980s. He was arrested at a Louisville homeless shelter back in 2012 when DNA linked him to those murders.
One of the men convicted in the 2002 murder of Pulaski County Sheriff Sam Catron has died in prison. The Kentucky Department of Corrections confirms Kenneth White died November 23rd of natural causes. White, along with former sheriff's candidate Jeff Morris, were convicted of complicity to commit murder. The man who shot Sheriff Catron, Danny Shelley, is serving a life sentence.
Well, sunshine late in the day led to some pretty warm temperatures this afternoon. Even now, as we are into the evening, our temperatures are still holding pretty mild. We have dropped, though, into the mid-40s at Danville, where it's 46. Frankfort's at 49. Flemingsburg's 46. But look at the other 50s. From London and Williamsburg to the 53-degree mark in Lexington. Not bad at all. Max Track Doppler, we got a little rain up in southern Indiana. No worries from it for the moment. Future Track, for the moment, no rain. But as you see, the clouds moving from south to north, rain clouds eventually follow. And as your morning gets started tomorrow, more than likely, if you're south of I-64, you'll be dealing with rain. By lunchtime, a lot of us still dealing with the next wave of rain that carries us into the afternoon and beyond. So rain is part of our future not only tomorrow, but going on into Saturday as well. At least the temperatures are going to be staying warm, and this weekend it is all rain and nothing else. We're going to talk about that, how long the warmer temperatures will last. We'll do that for you in a couple of minutes.
All right, Bill, thank you.
The woman accused of killing her newborn will answer to the charge in a Clay County courtroom tomorrow.
The baby was found Tuesday morning in a garbage bag outside an apartment complex on Ham Hollow Road in Manchester. Police arrested 21-year-old Amber Bowling yesterday at her home. Bowling is charged with murder, domestic violence. Following Bowling's arrest, medical professionals are reminding people of safe and legal ways to surrender an unwanted newborn baby.
The Safe Infants Act helps save lives. Tiffany Jackson explains.
Morgan Skaggs says when she saw our report that a newborn baby was found dead in Clay County, her heart sank.
We all mourn the loss of an infant.
State police arrested Amber Bowling on Wednesday. Her arrest citation states that she admitted she gave birth to a baby boy on Sunday, then placed him in a trash bag and threw him over the banister at an apartment complex. Over in Lexington, Skaggs, who is the Kentucky EMS for Children project director, couldn't help but think how this could have been avoided with a state law.
It is hard to understand why someone might need to surrender an infant or be unable to care for them.
But it does happen, and for a variety of different reasons, which is why the Safe Infants Act was put into place. The act allows anyone to leave a newborn baby with someone at a hospital or fire, police, or EMS station.
There are some limited places of worship that do participate in the program and have signage that tell you that you can leave the child there.
It's anonymous and can be done up to 30 days after birth.
The child does need to be left with a person, not on a doorstep.
The baby will go immediately to the hospital to get checked out and then be placed in foster care. Also, the person who drops off the baby will be given helpful information.
That gives them some advice on medical care for themselves following the birth. And information on what they can do if they change their mind.
Covering the news in Lexington, Tiffany Jackson, LEX 18 News.
And you can find out more information about the Safe Infants Act program on our website, lex18.com. The man charged with murdering a Leslie County family of 3 will be arraigned Tuesday.
State police arrested Paul Douglas Sizemore yesterday in connection with the deaths of Larry, Norma, and Chad Bowling, who were found shot to death at their neighboring homes Monday night. Sizemore is also charged with attempted murder of a police officer because investigators say he rammed a trooper's cruiser, then fired shots at him as he ran away. A Lexington woman who is confined to a wheelchair asked for a little help with a hole in her roof.
But when Habitat for Humanity stepped in, they realized she had much bigger problems. Michael Burke has the story in this LEX 18 Making a Difference.
Frank Rogers is one of the amigos. Couldn't find a better friend than these guys, a group of retirees who work for Lexington's Habitat for Humanity. John McClelland is leading the charge here on Tulane Drive.
I said, look, this lady's got no heat.
The lady with no heat is Renata Cruz.
Yeah, a great blessing. A great blessing to get to meet John. And
so long, space heaters. John and his team got a $6,000 HVAC system installed, even though Renata had only applied for help with a leaky roof. Turns out, there were other issues as well.
The drain lines are so bad, she turns the water off. She catches it in a bucket. She's got a roof problem. She's got plumbing problems.
But for John, there's a money problem. $17,000 to get this house the repairs it needs. About $8,000 has been raised thus far. The difference is actually the least of John's worries around town these days, where he's got 15 projects working.
It's what a lot of people are terming as a silver tsunami. It's coming because all of the baby boomer generation is getting older.
And like Renata, they won't be able to make or may not be able to afford these necessary repairs. So like Renata said, John and his amigos are a blessing. That's a feeling that goes both ways.
Yeah, she didn't ask for help. I've really grown to like her.
Covering this Making a Difference in Lexington, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
Well, if you'd like to donate your money, supplies, or your handyman skills to Lexington's Habitat for Humanity, we'll have a link to their website on lex18.com. Well, every year, the Faith and Community Christmas Store works to help make a difference for less fortunate families in Central Kentucky.
But they need donations to make it a success. Get ready to search your kid's closet for those unwanted toys next on LEX 18 News at 6.